Where does the soul go for 49 days after death? In Tibetan Buddhist belief explained, the question of what happens after death has always intrigued humanity. The fate of the soul, its journey, and its existence after death remain shrouded in mystery. Tibetan Buddhism provides detailed insights into this enigmatic journey in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, known as Bardo the Dal. According to this text, the soul embarks on a journey through Bardo, an intermediate state, for 49 days before reincarnating based on its deeds. The concept of the soul's journey after death has fascinated people for centuries, as extensively described in Tibetan Buddhism. According to Tibetan Buddhism, much happens after death. Soul passes through several stages, and only after completing them is its next birth determined. Nanan. According to Tibetan Buddhism, death is not the end of the body but the beginning of a new journey for the soul. Rebirth refers to returning to the world, while salvation means liberation from the cycle of birth and death. The Tibetan Book of the Dead explains that after death, the soul enters Bardo, an intermediate state that serves as a passage to the next life. This journey through Bardo is described in detail in the Bardo the Dal. Nanan. According to the Bardo the Dal in Tibetan Buddhism, the soul's complete departure from the body is a complex process that unfolds in multiple stages. This process typically takes about 3 to 4 days, although the duration may vary depending on the circumstances. Nanan. Consciousness remains in the body even after breathing stops. According to Tibetan tradition, the deceased should not be touched, especially on the head during this time, as it may cause distress to the soul. In this stage, the soul witnesses the light of the great void. If recognized, this moment can lead to liberation. Nanan. The soul gradually withdraws from the Bodhis energy centers, chakras. Tibetan texts describe that consciousness first leaves the Muladhara chakra, then ascends upward, exiting finally through the Sahasrara chakra. This process may take up to 3 days. Nanan. On the third or fourth day, the soul completely separates from the body. This marks the beginning of Chanyi Bardo, the post-death state, where the soul encounters various divine or symbolic visions. In cases of sudden death, such as accidents, the soul may take longer to depart. In contrast, peaceful deaths often allow a quicker release. Souls of those deeply attached to their physical bodies may also take more time to fully separate. Nanan. The body of the deceased is left undisturbed for at least 3 days. During this period, Bardo the Dal is recited by lamas to guide the soul through its journey. Special rituals and prayers are performed until the 49th day to support the soul's transition and potential liberation. Nanan. The Bardo the Dal, or the Sutra of Liberation from the Intermediate State of Death, is an ancient Tibetan text attributed to the 8th century Guru Padma Sambhava and later compiled by the scholar Karmalingpa. According to Tibetan Buddhism, the soul passes through 6 bardas, or intermediate states, during the course of life, death, and rebirth. Chakaya Bardo, state of life. This is the state of one's present life, where actions rooted in dharma and karma shape the future. Milam Bardo, dream state, the state of dreams, where the deeper levels of the mind are revealed and expressed. Samtan Bardo, meditation state, a state of deep meditation or the near-death experience, where consciousness becomes highly focused. Chikchayi Bardo, moment of death, the moment when the soul separates from the body and experiences the great emptiness. Chanyi Bardo, Bardo of Dharmata, the state immediately after death, where the soul encounters pure light and divine visions. Sidpa Bardo, state leading to rebirth, the transitional state preparing for rebirth, where the soul's next life is determined based on karma. Nanan. According to the Bardo the Dal, after death, the soul enters an intermediate state called Bardo, which lasts for 49 days. During this period, the soul moves through various realms and ultimately takes a new birth based on its accumulated karma. Nanan. Immediately after death, the soul enters the Chikay Bardo, where it experiences the pure light of Dharmadhatu, symbolizing the ultimate truth. If the soul recognizes and merges with this light, it can attain liberation, nirvana. However, due to ignorance or fear, most souls fail to recognize it and continue on their journey. Nanan. This stage begins around the 3rd or 4th day after death and lasts approximately 14 days. During this period, the soul encounters both peaceful and wrathful deities, which are reflections of its own mind. In the first 7 days, calm deities such as Avalokiteshvara and Manjushri appear. In the following 7 days, wrathful deities like Yamaraja and Bhairava manifest, representing fear and attachment. Liberation is possible if the soul realizes these visions are projections and transcends them through awareness or meditation. Nanan, if the soul does not attain liberation during the Chanyad Bardo, it enters the Sidpa Bardo, which spans from the 21st to the 49th day after death. In this stage, the soul prepares for its next birth based on accumulated karma. It experiences visions of various realms such as the heavenly, hellish, human, or animal worlds and is drawn toward the one that aligns with its karmic imprints. By the 49th day, the soul takes rebirth in a new form. Nanan, according to the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the path of a soul after death is determined by its karma, state of mind, and depth of meditation. Those with balanced karma are reborn as humans. Souls burdened by greed and attachment may become trapped in the ghost realm. Those driven by ignorance or violence may be reborn as animals. Extremely sinful souls descend into hell, where they undergo intense suffering. The soul is believed to wander in Bardo for 49 days 7 weeks. This period is symbolically linked to the development of a fetus in the womb, as it takes about 49 days for consciousness to fully settle into a new body. Tibetan scholars maintain that consciousness remains intact during this time, and the next birth is determined within this span. Enlightened lamas are believed to have the power to choose their rebirth. For instance, the Dalai Lama is part of the Tulku tradition, where enlightened beings reincarnate at will. These lamas retain memories of past lives and are identified through specific signs and tests in their new incarnation. Swipe left for next video. In Tibetan Buddhism also includes the secret practice of phawa, or the transfer of consciousness, in which a yogi consciously directs their soul to a pure land at the time of death. Some advanced practitioners are believed to attain liberation before physical death. In rare cases, the bodies of such lamas do not decay after death, a phenomenon known as the rainbow body. Latest blogs.